Alright guys, have you wondered what's the best designer experience when it comes to charting? Not this library, this is from the community. But man, doesn't it look cool. But I wanted to build something next level. Something that is both extremely easy to use and extremely flexible as well. Let me show you by creating a bar chart. I'm going to grab a Cartesian chart and drop a bar inside of there, and let's make sure the bar goes inside of the slot of the Cartesian component. I also want to have x-axis and also the y-axis and the Cartesian grid, and let's also have a legend, and let's make the legend appear on top right corner actually, and let's actually customize the looking of the bar chart. So from Figma, I'm going to copy this blue color and I'm going to paste it to the fill, and let's give this stroke 4, and let's increase the width to maybe 2. And we can also adjust bar size. I think 16 looks good. How about let's change the data itself to make it more interesting looking. Now since the data has changed, I'm going to change the data key of the bar and also of the y-axis, and for the x-axis I'm going to change it to main, and this point I think the grid is a bit distracting, so I'm going to disable the vertical. And you can even add more graph to make it more diversified. So for example, let's grab a area, and for the area I'm going to have it display PV, and PV is the biggest data set, so I'm going to change the Y to PV. So to customize the appearance of area, I'm going to first of all make the whole thing taller, and now let's give it dots. And you can also change the type, so linear, which is most accurate, and there's natural, and there's monotone, which gives you a different curvature, and you can also have step before and after, that kind of stuff. And I'm going to choose natural. You can increase or decrease the stroke width. I think I'm going to keep it 2. And again, we're going to go find some nice color. What about this dark green? I think it looks cool. There is one last dataset not being displayed currently. I'm going to just duplicate the bars and have it display that last dataset, which is probably empty. And we're going to find yet another color from Figma, which is probably this orange color. And we're going to paste that. And it looks pretty good. We can also stack the bars together as long as they have the same stack ID. And I want this area to go behind the bars, so it's gonna render first, then render the bars. Now what if you want to display the exact value on top of each individual bars? We're just gonna drop in a label list in the slot of one of the bars, and you can see, voila, it is displaying the correct value of those data points. Let me show you by dragging it to the area. You can see that it adapts as well. Let's have it back, and let me also show you that at any given point, if you want to change the font to say maybe Roboto, that is doable, and also the size around 14, and the font weight as well. I think I like normal better. Let me duplicate some of these cards to see how they look responsively. I probably want the parenting container to fill the available horizontal space. Alright, so let's check out the deployment environment, which is by going to Safari and typing localhost 3000. Voila, there's the actual web page with the chart we built. We can also add in the interactivity aspect by simply drag in a Tooltip component into the Cartesian chart, and we're going to go back to Safari and wait for it to happen. And now there is our tooltip. It is displaying the exact value of each of the dataset. So the flexibility of this modular charting design library doesn't really have boundaries. I'm going to show you by dragging a reference line, and probably have it set to 6000 on the Y, and make the red line a bit thicker, and you can also make it dashed. And for the label, you will probably gonna have it set to average, and you can customize the position as well as the offset, also the angle. Sometimes you want to have it rotated, why not? I'm gonna have it back. So besides Cartesian charts, I've also built pie charts. I'll show you by dragging in a pie chart. Inside the pie chart there must be a pie at least. Let's make sure that the pie goes inside the slotted pie chart, and we can customize the data like this. You can tweak the inner radius to make it form a ring shape, and the best thing I like about it is that it has real gap between each individual segment. So let me show you that by giving a background color to its parent, so you can see the gap is real, it's not fake by strokes. So now that's out of the way, let's have it back. If you want to give each individual segment its own color, that's also doable by applying a component called cell. And the cell is actually going to go inside the pie, and we're going to have 5 cells in this case, and we're going to just use some color from Figma. This first one is going to have this fill color, and the second one is going to have this fill color. This is the third one, this is the third one, and the fourth one. Okay, where is it? Yep, it's right here, and let's do a yellow. So that's that. Besides, you can also display the value of each individual segment by using a label list. And we're going to tweak this label list a bit to make it look more polished. So let's change font size 14. Probably have the font weight on normal, and let's give it a black fill. And the pie is having a stroke, so that is overwriting the label. Let's disable the stroke, and now you can see the label. Let's also change its position to appear outside. And now they are appearing outside, and let's increase the offset a bit to make them appear further away. At any given point, you can also change the data key displayed by the label list to its name rather than each individual value. And we can also drag in another pie to nest inside of this pie. And let's make sure that this pie goes inside of the pie chart. And let's change the data set and also the inner radius, probably like this. And sometimes you'll want to have a free floating title in the center. In this case, we're going to use a label that goes inside of this pie. And the label is going to display a title, just probably a pie title. And the position is going to be the center. And there's also the legend whenever you need it, and the legend, make sure that it also goes inside of the pie chart. And this is probably too much, and we can probably delete the inner pie, so that looks much better. So that about concludes this library I'm working on. It's fully modular and everything is fully responsive, easy to use, and exports production ready code. It's been Mr. Biscuit. Leave a like and comment if you want to see this library live one day and maybe use it yourself. So that's it. Stay awesome. Bye bye.